this is Lawrence Romanowski from the Distinctive Collection in Calgary, Canada. And what we have here is a very lovely 2001 Audi S8 sedan. So the S8 is, of course, the performance derivative of the A8, which is Audi's large four-door. And in this case, it was the car that Audi debuted their aluminum space frame technology on. So this is an all-aluminum car, which I think kind of makes it special. There aren't too many aluminum cars out there. The cost of manufacture is quite a bit higher, and they can only be built in very small quantities. So Audi would have only made about maybe 2,000 or so A8s per year. And the S8, of course, is even rarer than that. So for an engine, it has the 40-valve V8 engine, so that's 5 valves per cylinder, and it would be the same basic engine as in our Spyker C8s. That's tuned for 400 horsepower, and this is tuned for 360, up from the 310 of the normal A8. It's a gorgeous engine. It sits ahead of the front axle line, and it's longitudinal with a Torsen-based Audi Quattro four-wheel drive. So this car has terrific all-weather performance, and certainly for a climate that we have here in Alberta, it is very nice to have the four-wheel drive in the winter. We can even see, if we look in here, the aluminum welds from the space frame chassis. So aluminum cars, like I said, are pretty special, and they tend to stay on the road a lot longer than the steel cars, not just because they don't rust, but because somehow they get taken care of better. So this particular car came from Florida, in Naples, and it was brought up into Canada and correctly registered with the RIV. It has 57,000 kilometers on it, and it has every scrap of documentation, including the original window sheet, which listed it at $82,000. So walking around the car, it is absolutely perfect. There is nothing to complain about on this car. It has the pearl paint. We see the big 8-piston caliper. Sorry, start again. So we see the big 6-piston Brembo brakes, and the unmarked alloys. Even the inside of the alloys is clean. I mean, this is one car that has had a pretty treasured life. There's nothing in the way of door dings. There's no dents or scratches around the car. The alloys look like they're in perfect shape. The pearl white paint is free of swirl marks, free of any sort of major scratches. It's unbelievable that this is a 10-year-old car. And I think that the design has perhaps aged a little better than maybe the direct competitors from Mercedes, like the S500 or the BMW 7 Series, because this car still looks fresh, even though it's almost 10 years old. The interior of this car is a little bit different, and in that it has the optional Alcantara and leather interior. So the A-pillars, the headliners, the door bottoms are in the synthetic suede, as is the center of the seats. So of course it's a lot cooler than leather, and then warmer in the winter. This car also has the premium package, which gives you the side window blinds and the rear seat heaters. So gorgeous car, free of any sort of big marks on the sills. Carpets are in great shape. Of course, there's no cracks on the dash. There's no cracks in any of the wood. Sometimes some owners can be careless about where they throw their keys, etc., and the wood can be scratched up. In this case, it isn't. So we've got the 4.2 liter 360 horsepower engine, and then we have the Quattro all-wheel drive, and we have a version of Audi's Tiptronic 5-speed gearbox with the buttons on the steering wheel to shift. So the S8 is a little bit lower, it's a little bit stiffer, it has 50 more horsepower than the regular A8. It's rare enough as an A8, and the S8 there's very, very few around, and then for an S8 there's very few in this condition. So it's a bit of a special buy, I think. It's the car, I would say, maybe for the connoisseur, an all aluminum, high performance 4-door sports car. And like I said, you would be hard pressed to find a nicer one. And I would say that this car really is impossible to reasonably fault. Great car for all weather, especially in Canada. Beautiful paint, beautiful condition, beautiful color combinations. So anyway, all in all, it's a rare find. So anyway, Lawrence Romanowski, the Distinctive Collection in Calgary, Canada, and thank you for viewing.